most people go to Vegas and they just play and they have their favorite game and they have that same thing of maybe they'll be up, maybe they'll be down, but on average, most people just lose 2% and just give 2% to the casinos, and the casinos do just fine with the volume they're pushing through. Travel's the same way. Most people just assume like this is a typical, like this is specific dates and these specific destinations are the price, the best price that you will find. This is kayak. And I basically said, show me the best prices on a specific weekend. What weekend doesn't matter. The point is, this is why people think travel is expensive, because that's how most people travel. They say, we want to go on a vacation over Memorial Day weekend, and surprise, surprise, everything's expensive. And this is from Denver. All these examples today are from Denver. And $1,200 to go just to Canada. I see $800 to go to New York. The best deal out there anywhere in the country is $244, and that's, I mean, you can almost drive there. That's Salt Lake City from Denver. So the absolute cheapest is, of course, the closest, and that's really nothing exciting. I don't typically pay that much to go to the East Coast from Denver. So this is why most people think travel is expensive. But what's possible when you just go the Jay Goot way? This is the same site, kayak, but we're using the Explore feature where we just leave the destination blank, and I just used like the last quarter of the year, and I said, what have you got? What are the best deals in the, actually, no, it was last month. This was in December. Those are the prices for round trip flights to December. So drastically different. Salt Lake was $244. It's $55. So we're talking like a half to a fifth of the price by just being slightly flexible and then going where the best deal is. So even this might look a little bit daunting, but when you zero in, like you can just drag the slider down and say, show me nothing more expensive than $100. Then we can just instantly see, oh, look, we can go to Knoxville for $98. We can go to Houston for, or no, Austin, even cooler, for $82. San Diego, $87. By the way, look up, if you're in Jay Goot Vault, you can look up our cross the border trick and get yourself to San Diego and literally walk across a bridgeway and pay $10 a person in taxes instead of the typical $150 a person in taxes to cross the border, and then take a flight anywhere in Mexico for pennies on the dollar. So all sorts of ways you can do it just by letting Google or Kayak or search engine tools do the work for you. This is Denver to Hawaii, under $300. And this is towards the end of the year. Don't think it was like during actual Christmas season. That's when it like spikes, but this was December. Denver to Caribbean. Now, a lot of these are kind of typical prices. I see $800 round trip. I think I even saw a $900 round trip. But if you look, you can go to the Bahamas for $267. And again, this was the month of December. You can go to Puerto Rico for $78 round trip.
That's wild.
That's insane. Now, this was just kayak. I was doing a quick, easy example. This took me about 10 minutes to gather. It took more time to like put the slides together and circle the things than it did to find the flights. And common objections are, yeah, but when is it? Who cares? Like when you can go for $78 instead of $600 a person, you can probably rearrange your dentist appointment. You could probably, if you have a family of 5 or 6 or 8, you could probably justify taking an extra day or 2 off of work. So a lot of these people are making assumptions and say, I can't do that. But when you see how much you can possibly save, those objections start to melt away. So the key is look for the deal and then figure out if you can make your calendar work with it. And if you can't, look again next week. Look again tomorrow. All these deals will be different. Europe, very common to look at this and go, oh, I'll never get to the place I want to go. And Murphy's Law says the place you want to go is the most expensive. But remember, we're cherry picking. And just like casino machine hacking, I do not just sit down and gamble. I'm very frugal with almost everywhere I spend my money, including Vegas. I'm not going to sit down unless I see something that says, ooh, I've got way higher odds. And this is the same thing. So look at that, 322 round trip. And that's from Denver, and that's in December. Asia, look at these fares. This is why most people say, I will never get to travel, or I've only got 2 to 3 international vacations in the rest of my life. Because they're looking at, Langshu is $1,400 per person in coach. Most of these places, Sichuan, $1,600. Kunming, $1,700 for round trip flights and coach. But if you look hard enough, if you have discipline, Japan, $433. So there's always going to be a best deal. By definition, there will always be a best deal. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse. But this is like in the middle of gas crisis. This is in the middle of, are we still paying $6 a gallon on the coasts? Like in LA and in New York, $400 round trip, Japan. And a lot of people say, well, I have to go to Shanghai. Great. I guarantee that you're going to pay a lot less than $400 to tack on an extra leg from Japan to Shanghai than to pay that $830 a person. And so this is travel hacking. This is what we're doing. We're cherry picking the best 1% of deals and we're working our vacation around it. That's it. It's that simple. And the only reason people make it more complicated is by choice. They choose to tell themselves, I have to go on these dates or I have to go to this place. And that may be true for necessity trips, but it's not usually true for vacations. And even if it is, you can usually tack on an extra vacation that's a fraction of the cost.
Joel, this is like the, what you just outlined with the casino hacking. That's great that you ended up, spending $10 and getting back, what was it, $1,400. This is like if that machine, instead of just multipliers, had a flashing sign and said, hey, Joel, put your $10 here. We're giving you $1,400.
Yeah.
Because in this case, there's no risk. You've already found the deal. It's sitting right there. You've already won the prize. It's just a matter of if you want to go collect it or not.
Exactly. This is far less like gambling than what I just showed in Vegas. I mean, what I did in Vegas was still gambling. And don't get me wrong, I rarely do that well. In fact, I've never done that well. That's the best I've ever done. Like, that's a 1,800% improvement. I've never, ever done that well with gambling. But with vacations, it's guaranteed. That's the price. You're not like paying the airline to hopefully give you a flight. You're going to get on that flight or you're going to get your money back or if they cancel, but that's pretty rare. These are the prices. And points are even better. So many people say points never work for me. Well, that's because they probably try to apply them the traditional way. And the points deals are even better, but just like supply and demand, they're more rare. So it's very rare that you're going to find those. So you have to have that discipline. And that's why we have the 2-cent rule. And so these are just a few snapshots of, I just looked up Denver to Dallas and you can fly that. That's 4,500 points. That's $45 worth of points to fly to Dallas, or 9,000 if you want to go in business, which is basically domestic first class for 90% of these flights. In the domestic US, if it says business, you're going to have that wide extra pitch seat that's a lot more comfortable, usually has a meal if it's a long enough flight, etc. So we're talking about $45 worth of points to fly in economy. So call it $90 round trip and 90 or 180 round trip for business, which I guarantee again is domestic first class. And I grabbed a few different airlines, few different destinations just to put it in perspective. And that's just domestic. We don't typically use points for domestic unless it's a really, really good deal. We kind of save our points for those bigger, bougier trips like London or Dublin. These are a couple examples. Now I did forget to do a screenshot, but there's a little learning lesson here. Who here can tell me JFK to LHR or Boston to Dublin, same amount of points for economy or for business? Who can guess which is by far the better deal? Now, I didn't grab screenshots, so you have to trust me. But while the answers are coming in, I'll just kind of slowly give my answer. And the answer is you can almost always bet that that Dublin flight is going to be a lot better deal, because of taxes. So even though they're both the same amount of points, you always have to watch for that extra gotcha, which is the taxes.
I want to clear something up real quick as people are looking at this chart. That second column in, that's not telling you how long the flight is. That's not a 23-hour flight with a horrible layover somewhere. That's when they last checked that route and saw that deal.
Thanks for clarifying that, Anthony. Last seen means when they looked that up. The thing with travel hacking is this isn't like a Google Flights. Travel hackers represent not even 1% of the population. And so they can't just go and do a huge taxing search on all of the airline sites to ask how many points are available. So they will download all the information, they will store it on their database, and they'll kind of update it every 1 to 3 days, depending on how frequently those areas are searched. But yeah, very good clarification. You could click, if you get seats.aero, which we've got a link Anthony can share, and maybe someone can share it in the comments. If you get it, you can click on that little eye on that left side there, and that will show you a little bit more detail, and you can drill down. And then if you like the flight, they'll send you straight to the airline, and you can just transfer your points and book it. We don't have time to go into that. We have all that detail in JGoot Vault and in JGoot Lounge, as well as step-by-step in the book. So that's not what today's about. Here's another example. Just what was it? I was just looking for, East Coast and West Coast. I was looking. Yeah. So, look at this. These are direct flights from LA to Warsaw, Seattle to Copenhagen. These are 15, 16-hour flights that you don't want to sit that through in economy. One quick note, remember, half of the battle is finding the good deals on points. The other half is being aware of the gotchas. And remember, I told you before that gotcha was the taxes. It's kind of the same here. A lot of people get excited. Oh my gosh, is that a typo? Can I actually fly to Warsaw from LAX for 88 points? Yes, you can. But I looked that up and it was $350 in taxes one way in coach. So odds are that 30,000 point deal is a way better deal because it's not going to have the same taxes. That 40,000 point deal is going to be a way better deal. Different dynamics, different transfer partners, different rules. We go over all that in the vault as well as Jiggy Lounge, but just a little thing to file away. Remember to always look at those taxes. And we've got a free calculator that you can download that will help you with those calculations. And it'll flat out tell you whether or not it's a good use of your points. Remember, just like I have to walk away from thousands of machines and not put my money in those and only put them in the ones that tell me in advance that I have way higher odds of winning. This is the same thing. That travel hacking is the exact same philosophy. A lot of times you just have to walk away and say, I'm not wasting my extremely valuable points on this mediocre deal.